They're going to try to label me crazy. Things like abortion and things like gay marriage are outside of the Christian moral order, and they lead to chaos and destruction and a culture of death.
So coming after your birth control after that and everything else, well, you know what? Yeah.
This is going to be a fun one. That person who's being interviewed is Jacky Eubanks. She's running for state representative in Michigan, and her agenda is insane. We'll get to that in a bit. But first, we got to talk about the guy interviewing her. This is him.
You fight the homo heresy. Bombs are hitting their target. Sodomy is a form of marriage.
U.S. bishops were and are in bed with the Democratic Party.
Evil is evil, whether it wears a swastika or a hammer and sickle or hides behind a hypocritical do-good cultural agenda.
And draw our swords, the sword of spirit and truth. Guys and swords, you know, we whatever, what can I say? And how does one slay dragons in the world today? By realizing that their fiery breath is blasted into the minds of men in the form of corrupting thoughts.
He's some extremely far-right theocratic YouTuber who combines a mix of militaristic terminology and religious doctrine to create some cluster. I don't know what it is. But apparently he has a news show, and he had her on to talk about her campaign and what she believes in. And what she's describing is a fringe form of a theocratic nightmare for any rational person. And look, if you want to be a religious zealot, go for it. Who am I to tell you what you can or can't believe? But also, who the hell are you to tell me and everyone else how we should live ours? And what's really frustrating about these types of Republicans is they think that their religion should define and control the lives of everyone else. And that's just not how we do things here. But this type of ideology is getting more and more common. And she shares a lot of campaign platform planks with other Republicans, and here are some. They'll probably sound familiar. She wants strict voter ID laws. She wants to label Antifa a terrorist group. She wants to invest in the police. She wants to eliminate state income tax in Michigan on principle. She wants to ban mask mandates or any sort of vaccine protocols. She wants to eliminate any subsidies in green energy. She's against any form of gun control. She's anti-choice. And she wants to fix the roads in Michigan. That's at the very bottom of her issues section on her campaign website, which kind of feels like people putting it together were like, okay, this is way too crazy. We need to find something to make you seem normal. Roads, yes, we're gonna fix the roads. All of that isn't really that dissimilar from a vast majority of the Republican Party, and certainly the right-wing demagogues who are fueling this type of rise in the right. I mean, she has a section in there where she's talking about the 1619 Project, which comes from an academic's analysis of the origins of slavery in this country. And that became a big culture war fight, but it isn't really an issue that impacts voters and their material needs. But it just kind of signals to the right, hey, this is who I am, I'm paying attention, I'm with you in the culture war, which is sadly how a lot of Republicans have been running their campaigns lately. And I've talked in other videos about these same sorts of Republicans, and what they're finding is when they appeal to these types of people, fundraising dollars usually flow in, because people are getting more and more radicalized, especially on social media. They're believing more and more ludicrous things, and there's just a market for it. You can just go out there and be as crazy as you want and pander to those people's fringe ideologies, and you'll be rewarded from donors nationwide. So we really need to start to pay attention to these types of people. I don't think we should bury our heads in the sand, because this is absolutely crazy. I don't want someone like this dictating how I or anyone else lives our life. But there's going to be more people like her, because this is an easy to replicate political process.